Okay, imagine this for a second. There's this massive, really intense battle going on right now.
Yeah, but it's not fought with armies or anything like that.
No, exactly. It's happening sort of behind the scenes in the digital world. And it's for the smartest people on the planet. Today, we're diving deep into this fierce talent war that's really exploded in artificial intelligence, AI.
And it's not just any companies duking it out. We're talking about two giants you definitely know.
Right. OpenAI, they're the ones who made ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And Meta, the company behind Facebook and Instagram. A real clash of titans.
Absolutely. And our mission today really is to pull back the curtain a bit. We want to show you how these huge companies are fighting like tooth and nail.
Yeah, fighting to grab and maybe more importantly, to keep the very best AI experts.
Because look, this isn't just about who makes the next cool app or gadget.
No, it feels much bigger than that.
It really is. It's about who's going to basically define the future of technology itself and, what that means for all of us, for you listening right now.
And right at the center of this whole thing, this massive struggle, is this huge ambition, something called AGI.
Artificial General Intelligence.
No.
Right.
So for anyone maybe new to that term, AGI, let's break it down super simply. Think of it like AI that can actually think. It can learn, solve problems.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much like a human can.
Or maybe even better, eventually. The idea is an AI that can handle any kind of intellectual task you throw at it.
Anything a person can do with their brain.
That's the goal. It's kind of the ultimate prize for a lot of people working in AI, a technology that could just change everything.
And the stakes are just unbelievably high, aren't they? Getting to AGI first.
Exactly. And that's what's really fueling this crazy competition for the best people.
So who's making the big, bold moves here? It sounds like Meta is really on the offensive.
Oh, definitely. Meta, led by Mark Zuckerberg, they are being, well, incredibly aggressive, maybe even unprecedented in the tech world.
Aggressive how? Are we talking big salaries?
We're talking unbelievable offers, like stuff that almost sounds made up. Sam Altman, he's the CEO of OpenAI, right?
Yeah.
He's actually said Meta is waving around 9-figure checks.
9 figures? Wait, like $100 million?
Yeah.
Or more?
Yeah, or potentially more. Some sources are talking about over $100 million in signing bonuses, or maybe total pay per year.
Wow. Just imagine getting that phone call.
It's staggering, designed specifically to tempt OpenAI's top people away.
But it's not just the money, is it? Even though that's obviously huge.
No, it's also how they're doing it. This isn't your standard HR process.
Right. I heard Zuckerberg himself is getting involved.
He is. Reportedly, he's been personally reaching out to researchers, even people at Google DeepMind.
And offering them jobs without even an interview.
That's the claim. Offering positions on the spot. It just shows how badly and how quickly Meta wants to get these experts on their team.
So why? Why are they suddenly being so aggressive about this?
Well, it's interesting. Historically, Meta actually lagged behind a bit. Compared to, say, Google or OpenAI, their pay for top AI talent wasn't quite at the same level.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like top folks at Google might get, say, $5 million. At OpenAI, maybe up to $10 million a year. Meta's top AI scientists. Reports suggested maybe up to $2.5 million.
Okay, so still a lot, but a noticeable gap at the very top end.
Exactly. So this super aggressive hiring, it feels like Meta's way of not just catching up, but trying to leapfrog everyone. And doing it incredibly fast.
Right, not just closing the gap, but blowing past it. And it's not just individual salaries, is it? They're making big company moves, too.
Huge strategic investments. You heard about Scale AI.
Vaguely. They handle data for AI training, right?
Exactly. Crucial infrastructure. Well, Meta poured something like $14.3 billion, maybe $14.8 million, into buying a massive stake in Scale AI. Almost half the company, 49%.
$14 billion. That's enormous.
It's one of the biggest investments ever in this kind of AI infrastructure company. But wait, there's more. They didn't just invest money. They also recruited Alexander Wang,
the founder of Scale AI.
The founder himself, to lead Meta's brand new super intelligence lab.
A super intelligence lab.
Look,
okay, that sounds pretty serious.
It's meant to be. A dedicated team, basically pushing right at the edge of AGI research. It's a massive signal from Meta. They're not just playing the game, they intend to win it.
And Zuckerberg himself sees AGI as, what did he call it? Meta's defining project of the next decade.
That's right. Putting it right up there with their social media empire in terms of importance. It's a huge declaration.
And they're backing it up with serious resources, not just people.
Oh, yeah. Massive resources. They're building this enormous data center packed with over 350,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs.
Okay, GPUs, graphics processing units. For people listening, just think of these as like super powerful computer brains, right?
Exactly. They're absolutely essential for training these really big, complex AI models. It's like giving the AI a gigantic engine to learn and process information.
And 350,000 of them. That must cost a fortune.
Tens of billions of dollars. Just for the hardware infrastructure, it really shows you the level of commitment.
And in this race, they see OpenAI as the main rival.
That seems to be the view inside Meta, yeah. Their primary competitor. They seem to believe winning this AGI race is absolutely critical for Meta's whole future.
It almost sounds like, yeah, like you said, strategic paranoia. Even sharing infrastructure like scale AI becomes too risky.
It does. Which brings us to a really interesting point.
Okay, so if Meta is doing all this, throwing around $100 million offers, building these massive labs, buying talent, it really begs the question, doesn't it?
Yeah. Why aren't all the top people at OpenAI just jumping ship?
Right. What's keeping them there when Meta is dangling these incredible sums of money?
And this is where it gets really fascinating, I think, because it's clearly not just about the money for everyone.
So what else is there?
Well, a big part of it seems to be the mission. A lot of people at OpenAI genuinely believe in the company's core goal, which is to create AGI, but to do it in a way that's safe and, genuinely beneficial for humanity.
Okay, sense of purpose.
Exactly. They seem to feel OpenAI is maybe better positioned to achieve that breakthrough responsibly compared to Meta. So the work feels more meaningful to them. They see a bigger picture.
That makes sense. It's not just a job. It's trying to shape the future in a specific way. What about the work environment itself?
That seems to be a factor too. OpenAI generally has this perception, right or wrong, of having a stronger culture for pure innovation, more collaboration.
And the view of Meta is?
The perception sometimes is that Meta might be a bit too focused on the bottom line, on profits, which some argue maybe doesn't encourage that kind of really deep, long-term creative thinking you need for something like AGI.
So less original maybe, just kind of jumping on the AGI bandwagon.
That's a view some people hold, yeah. Whether it's fair or not, it's part of the narrative. For top researchers, that environment, that feeling of freedom and alignment with values can really matter a lot.
Okay, so mission and culture. Anything else keeping them there?
Yes. There's the potential future payoff. OpenAI had something called profit participation units. PPUs.
PPUs. Okay, I haven't heard of those. What are they, in simple terms?
Think of them like, phantom stock is one way to put it, or a really strong long-term incentive.
So not actual shares right now?
Not exactly, but their value, it could absolutely skyrocket. I mean, truly explode if OpenAI achieves massive success with AGI down the road.
Okay, so it's a bet on the future.
Exactly. For people playing the long game who really believe OpenAI will crack AGI, the potential wealth from those PPUs could actually be way more attractive than a huge but maybe one-time bonus from Meta.
So it's a gamble, but potentially a life-changing one if it pays off.
A calculated gamble, yeah, with potentially enormous returns.
So this whole thing, it's really not just a bidding war for salaries, is it?
Not at all. It's much deeper. It's a battle of visions, of company cultures, of fundamental beliefs about how AI should be developed and who should lead it.
But even with that strong mission and these clever PPUs, OpenAI can't be completely immune to all this pressure, right? They must be facing challenges too.
Oh, absolutely. You're hitting on a really crucial point there. Despite everything, OpenAI definitely has its own struggles with keeping people.
Like what? Are people actually leaving?
Yes. Their talent retention rate, the percentage of people who stay, is reportedly around 67%.
Okay. Is that good or bad?
Well, it's notably lower than some competitors. Anthropic, another big AI player, is said to have a retention rate closer to 80%.
Wow. Okay, 67% versus 80%. That's a pretty significant difference.
It is, and it's not just numbers. Some really key people have left OpenAI. John Schulman, one of the co-founders, actually moved over to Anthropic.
A co-founder leaving, that's big.
Yeah, and reportedly the percentage of new researchers they're hiring has dropped quite a bit too, from maybe 23% back in 2021 down to just 4% in 2024.
Whoa. That sounds like a worrying trend for them.
It definitely presents a challenge. And then there's that whole scale AI thing we mentioned earlier.
Right, Meta's a huge investment.
Yeah.
How did that affect OpenAI?
Well, OpenAI basically cut ties with Scale AI completely.
Really? Why?
The concern was because Meta owns such a big chunk of Scale AI, Meta might somehow get indirect access to OpenAI's training methods, their data, their secret sauce.
Ah, okay. The competitive paranoia again. Makes sense in this high-stakes race.
Totally. And other companies like Google are reportedly thinking about dropping Scale AI too for similar reasons. It shows just how guarded everyone is.
So given Meta's constant pressure and other big companies like Microsoft and Salesforce also trying to hire their people,
Yeah.
how is OpenAI fighting back? What's their strategy to keep the talent they have?
Well, obviously, step one is money. They are increasing salaries and compensation to try and stay competitive. They have to.
Sure, table stakes almost.
Right. But crucially, they seem to be focusing just as much, maybe more, on the work environment itself.
How so?
Trying to make it more supportive, offering clearer paths for career growth, and maybe the most important thing, giving researchers more freedom.
Freedom to do what?
To innovate, to be creative, to pursue interesting ideas without being, overly constrained by immediate product goals or commercial pressures, more autonomy.
Ah, so it's about empowering the researchers themselves,
Yeah.
letting them explore.
Exactly. That intellectual freedom, that ability to really push the boundaries, that seems to be a key part of their strategy to keep their best minds from being tempted away by just money.
Building a place where the most brilliant AI people genuinely want to be, not just where they get the biggest check right now.
That seems to be the goal. It's like Meta is playing high-stakes poker, shoving all their chips in. OpenAI is trying to win by having the hand everyone wants to play because of the potential and the environment.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Fostering that sense of purpose and possibility.
And remember, it's not just Meta they're competing with. Microsoft, Salesforce, other tech giants are in the mix, matching pay, offering unique projects, maybe leadership roles. It's coming from all sides.
So wrapping this up, it's crystal clear this AI talent war is way more than just big salaries and flashy perks, even though those numbers are mind-blowing.
Definitely. It's this really complex fight, isn't it, over visions for the future, different ways of working, different core beliefs about technology.
And the stakes are just immense. Losing even a few key people, these brilliant scientists, could set a company back months, maybe even years in this race.
It really highlights that in this new age, the most valuable resource isn't just code or data, it's the human brain power, those unique minds.
Absolutely. Which leads to a final thought, maybe for you listening.
Yeah.
With all this intense competition, all this focus on building super intelligent AI, how do we as a society make sure these incredibly powerful companies keep ethics and safety top of mind?
Right. How do we ensure it's not just about winning the race or maximizing profit, but about building something that truly benefits everyone?
It's a huge question. What stands out most to you from this whole talent war deep dive? Something to really think about.